This is a quick orientation to the Field Trends and Resource Directory dashboard. Here you'll see that we have three main tabs. We have the dashboard, which is with orange, until you toggle to the organizational records in the middle, and then the program records to the right. Within this dashboard, you'll notice that we have a few different types of charts, and then we have the tables of the actual data. And then on the left-hand side, you'll see various ways to filter this information. So in total, this year, we aggregated data from 277 organizations and 395 programs. So some organizations have multiple programs, hence the much larger program number. Some of the organizations I will share are not necessarily service providers. We have a handful of schools that took the survey. We also have some leaders who are consultants and other community leaders that work in green schools and sustainability education that took it as small business owners or consultants. And we have a couple of other sort of anomalies in terms of the type of stakeholder groups that participated in this. But I would say, 95% of these entries are from organizations, nonprofit and government that provide some sort of environmental education program on campus, off campus, working with all different ages, including families. So the way that you can utilize this tool is you choose over on the left-hand side which information you want to search. The difference here is organization data will end up filtering down your information based on the organization itself. And the different filters and data sets that we have for that are organizing by the region. This is a little bit subjective because you can argue whether a certain location is technically Central Texas or San Antonio or Austin, but it's more or less pretty straightforward. We also, you'll note, have a few different organizations that are statewide, such as Texas Parks and Wildlife. And we have some that are national organizations that have programs that serve Texas youth. You can also filter by Education Service Center, the 20 ESCs in Texas. And that would be the headquarters. So the ESC headquarters means that an organization is based in that particular Education Service Center. Not to be confused with the ESC region availability, which means, whereas the first one is telling me that an organization is based in that ESC, the second one is telling me what are all the programs that are available in a specific education service center, because many of them don't actually come from organizations that are based there. A lot of organizations have virtual programs, or they just have boots on the ground in a number of different communities. So you can search by sector, and you can search by service area. So are those organizations serving only at the local level, at the regional level, at the state level, et cetera? Programmatically, you can search again by everything that's available within a certain ESC region. You can search by environmental themes that are being taught in that particular program. You can search by the offerings. So are they doing classroom presentations, field trips? Do they offer curricula, teacher training? You can also search by standards alignment, whether or not their programs are aligned to the standards, by location, if they're on campus, off campus, or if their programs are virtual, whether they are after school, during the school day, provided on the summers or on the weekends, if they have a focus on rural communities, or if maybe they don't, but their programs are available for rural communities. You can search by the ages served. Are they serving elementary, middle, high school, teachers and administrators, or the community at large? And what percentage of their students are generally coming from Title I schools? So let's give this a test run. We can do, let's say, I want to see all of the programs that are available in the Houston region. And you'll notice that from the original 277 organizations, we've now filtered to 90. And those organizations are then also represented here where they're coming from. Those organizations are available to be seen. The name of the organization stays frozen, but then you can scroll to the side and you can see other information that they shared. Their mission statement, their phone number, if we have contact information on them, the sector, et cetera, et cetera. But you also see the programs that are available. So again, many organizations have multiple programs. So here we have the program name, the organization offering it. And then again, do they have COVID adaptations? What is the description? What is the environmental theme? How do they evaluate their program? What ages does it serve, etc. And the neat thing is here, you can scroll through them. You can go through the pages in the bottom right-hand corner, but there's an export button. So you can export this as a CSV. So you could, going back to the dashboard, the charts have changed. Right now we're looking at the pie chart is which of these programs that are available in Houston are also available to rural communities. Well, we can change that and say which of these programs are organizations that serve different regions, right? So some of those are 33% of those only serve the Houston region, but 21% of those serve the entire state, and 11% of them actually serve schools internationally. So you can also toggle with the other chart here, the environmental themes. So here we have the breakdown of environmental themes for those Houston programs, but we can also instead look at the group served. So of those 196 programs in Houston, here are the breakdown of how many of those. 137 serve elementary, 134 serve middle school. So the bar charts here are essentially showing the responses where people could choose multiple responses, right? So the questions in which they could choose multiple responses. So we have many organizations serve all grade levels, so they could check all 3 boxes, versus the pie chart is more of sort of sum total 100%, you can only choose one response. What sector are you from? So diving a little bit deeper, here we could go to every program available in Austin. That has to do with conservation. That provides field trips. And with those search criteria, we've drilled down into 46 programs offered by 31 organizations. So that's just a little bit of how the search engine works. Relatedly, all of these charts change. You can actually export those as well by going to the little camera, and you can download the pie charts and the bar charts and such as a PNG. And then this sunburst here, this is likely going to continue to get modified. There's a number of things on here that we're still fixing for the time being, just some of the display terms and things like that will get cleaned up over a couple of weeks. But here, you can see, show me everything in Education Service Center 13. And then it shows you which ones are nonprofits, which ones are government. Show me all the nonprofits. And then it shows you all the different organizations. So you can very quickly see which organizations are available through a more visual display than the exporting tables. And that's just a little bit with the dashboard. We have a lot of aspirations for continuing to improve the user experience and adding additional features and functionality, but this is our 1.0 version, and we hope it is useful to you.